All right, welcome back for example 2. Before we get started, we need to talk about density. Density is a ratio that compares mass and volume. And this is the equation right here. Density equals mass divided by volume. All right? So since density is measured in units of mass per unit one of volume, it is considered a unit rate. So for density, this needs to be 1 on the bottom because it is a unit rate. All right, so let's look here at our chemistry example. So it says 5 cubic meters of copper has a mass of 44,800 kilograms. What is the density? Okay, so we're going to use our little formula here. Density equals mass over volume. And 5 cubic meters, that's our volume. So V equals 5 and mass equals 44,800. Okay, we substitute those values in. 44,800 all over 5. And then we need this to be 1, right? So that means we have to divide this by 5 and divide this by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 44,800 divided by 5, I'm not sure, but we can figure it out really quick. Divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 4, but it goes into 44 8 times. We subtract, drop it down. 5 goes into 48 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. And then that's 3. We drop down the 0. And 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. We drop down to the last 0. And 0. So there we go. 8,960. So that would be the density. We would say density of copper. Copper has a density of 8,960, the mass, so cubic meters, no, the mass was on top. So mass is in kilograms, right? Kilograms per cubic meters. So, yes, kilograms per cubic meter. And that would be the density. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and try the next one. Oh, come on, paper. Come on. All right. So it says a piece of gold with a volume of 0.5 cubic meters has a mass of 9,650 kilograms. What is the density of gold? Okay, so we're going to use our density formula, right? Density equals the mass divided by the volume. Our mass is equal to 9,650. Our volume is equal to 0.5 cubic meters. So I'm just going to go ahead and substitute those values in. Okay, now remember for density we need a 1 on the bottom. So we need to make this into 1. So 0.5 is basically a half. In order to make that 1, we need to multiply it by 2 to the bottom and the top. Okay, when we do that, we will have 1 on the bottom, and that's going to be our volume, right? And volume is in meters cubed. And then we just need to figure out what that is. So I'm going to take that over here and multiply it by 2. And that's 6 times 12, 13, and 18, 19. Okay, so 19,300 kilograms. So we can say that gold has a density of 19,300 kilograms per cubic meter. And there we go, there's our answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's your turn. I want you to try C and D on your own. Here's my friend the pause dragon, reminding you to pause your device. Go ahead and work out C and D. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about them together. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Let's see how you did. So it says 5 cubic meters of silver has a mass of 52,450. What is the density of silver? So we're going to write that density formula, right? Density equals mass over volume. Our mass is equal to 52,450. Our volume is equal to 5. Okay, we just substitute in those numbers. Over 5, and we need this to be 1, right? So we're going to divide this by 5 to the bottom and the top. I just need to take this over to the side and figure out what 52,450 divided by 5 is. 5 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 5 is 5. Drop down the 2. 5 doesn't go into 2. Okay. Drop down the 4. 5 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Then we subtract. Drop down the 5. 5 goes into 45 9 times. 9 times 45 is 45. And then lastly, drop down that 0. And there we have it. So this equals 10,490 kilograms. Over 5 divided by 5 is 1 cubic meter. And so we can say that silver has a density of 10,490 kilograms per cubic meter. And that is the density. Okay. So if you got that one right, great job. Let's go ahead and look at the last one, aluminum. What is the density of aluminum? So we're going to write that density formula, right? Density equals mass over volume. It says aluminum weighing 1,350 kilograms, so that's our mass. Has a volume of 0.5, so we just substitute those values in. Right, that's supposed to be a 5. Okay. Okay, we need this to be 1, right? So it's a half, so we need to, or 0.5, same thing. We need to multiply it by 2, and then we'll have 1. So we just need to figure out what 13 multiplied by 2 is. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 5 is 10, write the 0, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay. So that equals 2,700, and that's 1, and this is kilograms per meters cubed. So we can say that aluminum has a density of 2,700 kilograms per meters cubed. So if you got that right, yokaneki mashita, you did a wonderful job, and I will see you for example 3 in a little bit.